Hey there, Alina here with B.A. Worthing Incorporated. We're at our ground up new build in Encinitas, and today we're going to talk about why you want to work with licensed GCs and licensed subcontractors. We're going to bring in a couple of my favorite subs to talk about their piece of the puzzle, what they add to the project, and why licensure is important in our industry. And then we're also going to talk with one of my project managers about what he brings to the table, his role on our team, and why working with a GC and project management is very important for the success of the project. This is Doug with Next Wave Heating and Air. He's our HVAC contractor, and he's here to talk to us a little bit more about what it means to be a licensed HVAC contractor and what he brings to the table.
All right, yeah, so I'm Doug. I'm a second generation HVAC contractor. My dad's done it for the last 40 years. And, we've been licensed ever since then. We've seen a lot of the HVAC industry, construction industry over the years. Now me as a second generation owner, I bring a lot to the table, especially for you guys. Building custom homes and be able to design it from the ground up. We've experienced where we've seen everything really. We know all the equipment, we know what we're supposed to be doing, we know how we're supposed to design it. We do a lot of real special builds that are complicated.
Yep.
You know, where we don't get attic spaces, or we have really large rooms, and it's difficult to do it correctly. And that becomes the issue, right? Is that we want to build homes that are efficient, yet beautiful at the same time, right? You get the best of both worlds. But it takes a lot of experience and know-how to be able to do that.
Yeah, and having a license definitely helps you to understand the ins and outs of that piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely. Having a license kind of shows that we know what we're talking about. We are insured, we are bonded, we've taken our tests, we have workman's comp, we have everything that covers us in case anything were to happen. So the customer should feel safe about that. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people probably don't understand, is that just the contractor's license isn't there just to make sure that they know what they're doing. It's there to be protected and be credible.
One of the pieces of the puzzle that we often work on together is coming up with creative solutions to help a home be more efficient and to understand the customer's use of the space, how we should heat and cool the space and deal with ventilation based on their personal uses. Can you tell me a little bit about a few of the different approaches that we've taken for HVAC systems in past projects?
Yeah, there's times where you have a two-story home where we need two systems, one for downstairs where you're living all day long, but at nighttime you want a different system because now you're sleeping there, but you don't want to be running the downstairs system at the same time. So having two systems there helps out a lot, more efficiency-wise. We also have another project where we did a smaller home, so you don't need two systems, but we did a zoning system on the ductwork. So if you have a guest room or a couple guest rooms and a bedroom and a living room, you don't need to do 4 different systems. We can do one system and put it on the zoning. Every room has their own thermostat. But you don't need to cool these rooms that are only occupied for 1 week, 2 weeks out of the year. But we also have mini splits, right? So we do lots of mini split systems where we can't do ducting systems. We do a lot of those. Same project where we have the 2-story home. The back ADU had 2 bedrooms in the living room, but they didn't want mini splits on the walls, but they still wanted everything to be customized for whoever's staying there. So we did the ducted mini splits, and keeps it sleek, high efficiency. You have the whole inverter technology with mini splits, which we like to here, being on the coast. Variable speed, you know, so we can really dial things in, not just to cool the home, be efficient, but also handle humidity.
And from the perspective of what you bring to the job and what you provide to a general contractor, your particular company is a concrete company. And so what are the different aspects that you work on, for instance, in this job?
Well, for this job, when Nate and I started it, it was dirt. And like we found in the beginning, this house was laid out, surveyed too far this way. So we had to adjust, the top could stay, but we had to shrink the bottom to fit the block.
So your knowledge base, being licensed, helped you to solve those different potential problems.
Yeah, that, and you know, like our parents, since their parents were in the trades, learning from them as well, being licensed was a big advantage for me because I knew from the beginning what I had to look at first thing when I walked on the job.
Have you seen any issues that you've come across where someone that wasn't licensed did work and you had to rectify those problems?
Oh yes, they cheated on rebar not being the right size, footing widths not being the right size, and I had to come epoxy and pour new additions to their footing versus what was supposed to be done right.
So what are some of the things about your role in the construction of a new build do you find exciting?
Just watching it go from the actual dirt footprint like you showed in your first video, I think it was, and it was just dirt and a tractor. And then watching it go from that to the first phase of walls, and then actually the upper slab being poured and the second slab being poured, it's like I can take a breath back and go, finally we're there.
Yeah, feels good watching it come together.
Yeah.
Taking that vision and bringing the whole thing to life. And of course your role is really important because it's the foundation of the entire project.
Yeah.
And if the foundation isn't right, then nothing else is going to work out.
If my foundation's not square or flat, then it screws everybody behind me. So.
Can you tell me a little bit about your role with BA Worthing and what you bring to the table in terms of helping our homeowners' projects run more smoothly?
As a project manager on a day-to-day, you're looking at schedule, trying to find the bombs that are going to come, try to avoid those, try to see how we can best skirt them and keep going.
And what are some of the best management practices that you use in terms of lining everybody up to make the project run as quickly as possible?
I would say just touching base with your contractors, knowing their schedules and always letting them know how the project's running and giving them feedback, saying, hey, I'm going to need you in 3 weeks. Are you going to be available? Make sure that their timeline is going to work for your timeline. Trying to make sure that any problems that you do come across, you're able to truncate and keep on moving.
And how about in the industry in general, working with people that are licensed versus unlicensed? Have you come across any instances where you've had to rectify issues that were caused by unlicensed contractors?
Yes, unfortunately, that is something that we do come across. It is, a big issue to the homeowner, and it does cause financial issues, lawsuits, all of those things that come along with somebody who does something that's incorrect. It's always best to go with a licensed contractor because you are getting the license, the certification, the bond, the insurance, everything that goes with that bundle. And they're going to stand behind their contractor's license to make sure that moving forward, they're getting a good recommendation.
As a general contractor, what are we providing to the client that you wouldn't get if you weren't a GC? If you were hiring subs individually yourself versus hiring a general contractor, what do we bring to the table?
I would say we bring oversight. We bring quality control. If you're out there and you want to take on your own project, kudos to you. I mean, you can. It's depending on the size of the project. If you're building a whole house, you have to know every step. You have to be able to call the contractors, make sure everything's lining up properly. But I would say hire a contractor with a good team. That way you can get a good final product, because it's hard as a project manager to be able to manage a project cleanly, and just trying to wing it on the side as a homeowner, it's going to be more difficult, I would say.
For sure. Thanks so much, Nate. Appreciate your time, and we'll
you.
keep on trucking with this one.